big party out there, and we were invited. John Carlos, the track star, had invited me to go with him. And the people said, well, where are you from? And I told them, why are you here? I told them, and man, it's like all these guys gathered around. Now, people are a lot older. So, and I found it very interesting. As men talk, it was almost like being in a locker room. And we started talking. So I guess it depends on your age. And you know, closer you are a little up in age, and it starts to become a reality. And then I have a very good friend who, matter of fact, B. Smith's husband, Dan.
Okay.
He was watching us on, I was doing this last year, 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago now, having this very conversation on a television show, and he was in the hotel room, just happened to be up, saw the show, and said, you know what? Maybe, wow, Joe, I better go get tested. He did, found out he had prostate cancer. So this is why we're doing the show. And this is why I want to have you guys on, because you're relatively young, and I'm hoping people listening will, the men particularly, will go out and get tested. If nothing, you know, and please do both. Get your digital and get your PSA, and that way you know, and you can track it. Is there any other advice you guys would like to give before I close out?
Jerry, I just like to say that, you know, getting tested pretty much saved my life. I saw the ordeal that my brother went through and the quality of life as he went downhill as it spread. And I've had a history of cancer in my family, so I just say get tested, because what I saw, I don't want anybody to experience what I saw with my brother and his quality of life and how he went down. So just you catch this thing early, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
So get tested.
Jeff?
And I like to add as well also, make sure that as you're going through this process, and so many times as brothers we try to handle things ourselves,
right,
is to reach out to the support group. Mine's actually spanned from Atlanta to Baltimore, where Jerry is, out to California. So reach out for a support group, because this is something that you definitely don't want to go through by yourself. It's for me, being in my early 40s, for Jerry just turning 50, it's a whole life change, and it's something that we necessarily probably just don't think of cancer at this age. And obviously, as Jerry mentioned earlier, when you think of cancer, a lot of us associate fear with it. So, but if you get screened early, there's a 98% chance of being cured from it.
And let me add something else here. With Obamacare, men, if you sign up for this insurance, your testing is free. Your testing is free. I mean, I'm telling these young men this. You're testing, this is what they call, this is the preventive side of it. And it's just like women with pap smears and mammograms, prostate cancer is included in this. So there's a major advantage there. There's no excuse now. So it's not a question of you can't afford it. It's there, and you know that's why that October 1st deadline is so important.
Joe, can I add one other thing?
And who is this now, Jeff or Jerry?
Jeff.
Yes, Jeff. Real quick, final comment. Okay.
One other thing is that this is a silent disease, so a lot of times you're not going to experience not going to experience any problems or issues or complications. So that's why it's so important that you start your annual testing at the ages that we're recommended.
Yeah, it is. You will not have signs. You won't know. I mean, like I said, if I hadn't if I hadn't wanted to change my insurance policy, I wouldn't have known. I would not have known. Gentlemen, thank you. Jeff, Jerry, appreciate it. Great advocates. I hope we've convinced folks driving around listening to the Madison show. I hope we've convinced them to go get tested and pick an anniversary date, like your birthday or something like that you will remember. To do it every year, so that's just part of the routine. That's another suggestion too that you might use so that you don't forget. Thank you guys very much for coming on. It's very important we do this. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
All right then, we'll continue. I'm Madison.